Hey guys, please join our countdown event. Let's celebrate!
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Countdown to Justice. Welcome to the Louis Centeno Show. I am your host, Louis Centeno, and we are just 5 days away from the official day that it was be released. Obviously, we got a lot of the people got invites for Monday, and then there's a world premiere red carpet on Wednesday the 17th, which I'm unable to attend because it's too late. But either way, this is the week. For 3.5 years, we have fought, clawed, and even sometimes fought with each other. But I think the reason that we fought amongst one another is because we just wanted to see the Snyder Cut. And if you notice, I would say the last month, everything's been quiet. It's a time for celebration, and I've been saying it since the event started. This feels like an event. This feels like a big championship football game. This feels like a title fight between Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield in the 90s. I'm not sure, if you guys are that old, but Oscar De La Hoya, Felix Trinidad, Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, back in the 80s when we had WrestleMania 3 with Andre the Giant, Hulk Hogan. I know it's entertainment, but still, it has that feeling that it's no longer a movie. It's an event that everybody's taking off from work to watch this. Even people who were not even involved in the fandom knows about the Snyder Cut. I mean, this has reached a global phenomenon. I have never, ever seen this before. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to bring in my three guests. I'm going to bring in Ryan Risky. He's a Fox News reporter. And unfortunately, he's a Cubs fan. Unfortunately, he's a Chicago Bears fan. So my condolences to you, but it's okay. You'll be all right. How you doing, Ryan?
We don't need to talk about the Bears.
Okay. Well, I know.
Yeah. No, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I'm going to bring in your partner in crime, Taylor. Taylor, how you doing?
Amazing. How are you guys?
We're doing awesome. And last but not least, I'm going to bring in you guys are reporters. So if you guys ever do a piece on the Snyder Cut, I would like you to do a piece on this gentleman that I'm going to bring on because he was there every single day. I mean, it's hard. I'm doing a YouTube channel, and it's hard to provide content. It's really hard, and my channel's growing. But this guy, he, in my opinion, he's one of the faces of the movement. And every single day, he always gave us hope, positivity. I mean, he was digging. Anything, even Scoop, anything that he would put out there just to give us hope. And he was actually my first guest. So, Chris, thank you for joining me. I really, really, really appreciate it. To me, there is no better person, no better way to end the event by having you on. I want to talk to you about so many different things. And before we go on, guys, what I would like you to do is there's a description. There's a link on the bottom. It's for juvenile diabetes. This is raising awareness for juvenile diabetes. For those people who don't know, last year my daughter got diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. Type 1 and type 2 is different. Type 2, it could be reversed with the proper diet, with the proper exercise. Type 1, there's no cure. Just yesterday, her sugar went to close to 300, and she's tiny. So, and this correlates with mental health. Those people who live with type 1, it could be mentally stressed. So just read on that. I ask that you guys just give up, not you guys, my guests, but those who are watching, give up on McDonald's. McDonald's like $5-6. You can give that or to donate. So I really appreciate it. So I wanna start with you, Chris. Chris, the journey has been long, sometimes frustrated, sometimes you will put out things just to give us hope. Anything. Did you ever think that there will come a point that this day would have come?
Well, it's been a long time. Thanks for having me on again, Louis. Good to see you again.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a long time coming, especially from the beginning. And I still remember that article. I think it was the Washington Post. Was the Washington Post article, and we were featured on that. What was it again?
So what was it with the? Are you talking about the positive or the negative one?
The Wall Street Journal. Yeah, the Wall Street Journal.
Mm-hmm.
And being featured on that was crazy, but at the same time, it's kind of like I was they threw my name out there in Fiona and DC Movie Page just to just throw Snyder Cut under the bus. And I remember that point in time where the energy was high, then it just dipped down. And everybody was just really frustrated and depressed that they were saying it's a pipe dream and stuff like that. And to get from that point, and we just kept chipping away, thanks to Zack and thanks to Ray Fisher, the cast and crew and everybody else, and the positivity of the American Foundation, the movement to give money to the American Foundation suicide prevention. It just created this, like you said, it's a giant event. It's more than just a movie. And I think the journey, that was the Snyder Cut, the journey and meeting people from around the world. That was the most heartwarming and the most awesome thing to have come from this. I believe it almost. I don't know. I haven't seen the movie yet. I'm sure it's going to be pretty damn awesome. But the journey along the way was just absolutely amazing.
Ryan, when did you first heard about the movement?
I don't really remember. I remember watching the theatrical version and being disappointed. And I just remember my first thought was, and I think Zack had made a post on Vero. It said something along the lines of, hope everyone's enjoying seeing Justice League. I haven't seen the movie yet. And it was the opening weekend. And that's kind of when I was like, this isn't his movie. And, then there's, all the rumblings that there might be an alternate cut or an alternate version of it. I don't think anyone knew at the time how extreme the two different versions will be. I don't remember the day I tweeted for the first time. I'm sure I could go back and find that on Twitter. Except it's been a long time coming. I mean, people have been clamoring for a long, long time. And it still kind of feels surreal that it's happening. And as you kind of said earlier, it feels like it's an event, the championship game of something. We're at the finish line. Everyone's just ready to see the movie.
And Taylor, thank you so much for joining us. We see her in the background. She is the Wonder Woman. I mean, she'll go out there and start reporting and all that stuff. Taylor, you're safe, right?
I'm safe. I'm just in the car, so I have to keep my mask on. But thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, thank you. Not a problem. Not a problem. I'm gonna ask you the same question, and the only reason, because I want to know from your perception, when you guys are reporting, certain things, sometimes you guys get news that you wasn't expecting. So that's why I'm asking you about the movement. When did you first find out about the movement?
Oh man, I kind of feel like Brian. Like it's always been like around. It's like you can't pinpoint the exact day or time. I feel like I knew about it, and then when when everyone started tweeting, of course, on February 12th, I feel like that was like a big turning point for the movie and the Zack Snyder's Justice League. I feel like that was when I was like, you know what, this is awesome. Everyone's empowered because of this. I feel like that was a big turning point for me.
I think kind of the big things with the movement was like it really became more noticeable once the Twitter handle for Release the Snyder Cut kind of united everyone together and then had all of the, basically was able to plan everything out. So then everything could be happening at the same time, as you saw on February 14th last year, and then the 2-year anniversary of the theatrical cut, which is really when it was going viral in the middle of a pandemic.
Right, correct. Chris, as you doing your show every single day, as you giving us updates on what you were hearing, when did you find out about there was someone organizing a movement? Because I went back and I was thinking, I think the first time wasn't there a petition that went out that they were asking us to sign? To me, I think I was thinking, I said, man, when did I first find out? And I think it was from that point forward. I don't know who made that petition, but when did you actually know that either someone were organizing the Snyder Cut movement or you found out about the movement?
Well, actually, I found out that there was, someone actually kind of leading the charge was Fiona. That was right at the beginning. That's when I started reporting on it. And then, and I don't mean I'm not a real journalist like Ryan Taylor here, but, but I'm on YouTube. I'm just a dude on YouTube in Hawaii. But yeah. I found it through Fiona, and then the petition, and I found out about Shiraz, the Squadcast guys, and then Fiona. They were doing that petition. And that was awesome. That had a lot of signatures on it, but that kind of, a little bit fell apart. But they kept going at it. And I got to give props to Fiona. She did bring tons of people together. And then after a while, sometimes it became more organic as well. But the reason was, like Zack told me, he's like, just keep pressuring them. It's full pressure. The more you talk about it, and I even apologized for my tinfoil theories. He's like, no, it's driving the conversation, which is good. So, but that, got up to the November event. And when it came to November 2019, that was when the entire world was kind of like, oh, this is a big deal. It trended worldwide, and it was much bigger than, and Ben Affleck came on board and Gal came on board, and all the cast and crew started going, release the Snyder Cut. Like you said, Ryan, that became the tagline that people were calling, let's release the Snyder Cut with something else. They were making jokes about it. The guy from Game of Thrones did called release the Snyder Cut in whatever language that was. It just became a weird mainstream pop culture sensation. To a lot of times, it's may have been like a jokey kind of thing, but it's still stuck in your head. It's like the Snyder Cut, release the Snyder Cut of something. So I thought that was pretty fabulous. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you and other YouTubers doing covering the Snyder Cut. I remember I went back to our first show because you were my first guest, and I remember you said that it was important for us to do shows and to talk about it, to educate the public. And the more we talked about it, the more we educated the public, the more it got out there. And I think that was so important that we talked about it, because obviously telling Zack's story was, I still get heartbroken to tell his story, what was going on, but just everything as one. When we did that, it gained momentum. More people started to jump in. I didn't know Ryan, because when you think about reporters, they're covering real life stuff. I follow Ryan, and at 1:00 he go breaking news, shots everywhere, and I'm saying to myself, how does this guy find the time to know about the Snyder Cut? So that's why it was so important for us, to do these shows, to do these events, to educate the public. And that's what Zack meant when he said put the pressure on. He put the pressure on. Chris, didn't Zack say that there was Warner Brothers tweeted something out about about Sesame Street, and somebody released a Snyder Cut, and they said that we can't even get away from this. It's like, what is this? I think I read something like that. Do you know what I'm referring to?
Not specifically, but I think I know what you mean by it just being in pop culture. That's what I was trying to say. Like it became more mainstream than just a little bubble that we have, and which is, I think, made others be aware of that.
And I think if you go back and look at all the prior HBO Max tweets before the official announcement, every tweet was just flooded with release the Snyder Cut tweets. And yeah, Luis, I think on that one post you're talking about with Sesame Street, someone tweeted F Elmo. You know, yeah, no. So like, I'd say 90% of the replies on all of their posts were all hashtag release the Snyder Cut, and it said they can't promote anything. And it's like, now they finally realize that, you know, this is a marketing tool. You know, fandom wants one thing.
Right. Taylor, where do you know where you're planning to see the Snyder Cut? Because it's 4 hours long. So I had Robert Burnett Meyer on my show. Chris, you know what he said he's gonna do? He's gonna watch Man of Steel, BVS Ultimate Edition, and then go straight to Zack Snyder Justice League. That's like 12 hours.
That's 10 hours.
I mean, I don't know, but Taylor, what do you have a place in mind where you're gonna watch the cut? Oh, I think she's frozen.
Second.
She's
frozen.
Oh.
Yeah, there
There
we go.
she is.
Okay.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, me and Ryan are actually watching it on Thursday, day one when it comes out.
But are you gonna watch it with friends? You're gonna watch it by yourself?
Me and Ryan.
Oh,
are
it'll
watching
just-
it together.
yeah,
We're having
just-
just me and him are having a watch party.
Okay. Because I already told my family, you know, I get off work at 2:30. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cook this cowboy steak with mashed potato and corn. And then when I'm done, because I'm gonna celebrate. This is a celebration. Probably make some pina colada. Then probably maybe around 6, have some, you know, chips and salsa and guacamole sauce, you know, right next to me. And once I sit down, I know Chris gave a pointers for those people who were wondering, you know, how they could survive, you know, with, you know, watching a 4-hour movie, you know, and thank God for technology, Chris, right? I mean, so all they gotta do is just hit the pause button. Am I right or am I wrong? So,
Yeah.
Chris, I know you're gonna watch it on Monday. What are you expecting? Are you expecting? Because I this. And later I'm going to talk about the cliffhanger because it has me so consumed. That's all I've been doing is thinking about the cliffhanger. I've been researching, looking at prior articles. I know Screen Rant like 2 years ago. I think they asked Zack Snyder, where is Wonder Woman? Where is Aquaman? And he said they're not there. And I'm looking at the posters because sometimes Zack gives clues, but you got to look for it. It's somewhere hidden. But what are you expecting as far as the actual movie?
What am I expecting? I don't even know what to expect. Like at a certain point in time when you're, you know, doing this for so long and knowing so much people and talking to so much people, you had a certain expectation of how the movie was going to go. And I think the backbone of it would probably be the same, you know, a group of them get together, they fight off Steppenwolf, get the mother bosses and stuff like that. But recently, you know, some TV spots and some clips we've seen, it just blows me away. I'm like, okay, maybe I don't know what's going to happen in this movie. Because even some of that information, the things that you saw on the storyboards that came out, that's over there in AT&T Dallas.
Yeah.
I knew about that stuff. Like, I knew what was going on in that before. I've known about that, but I just kept my mouth shut. And now I know that it's probably not going to be like that. So it's which is great. I don't want to know. You know, sometimes I feel like I wish I wasn't this in tuned and be completely surprised when the movie comes out. And I think it's going to be that. I think definitely from some people I've spoken to, no spoilers. They haven't given me. I said, shut up. If you tell me any spoilers, I am disconnecting right now. But it just sounds like we're going to be pleasantly surprised. And so my game plan is I'm dropping off all 3 of my kids to their grandma. Sorry. guys gotta get out of here. And then you gotta leave me and my wife by ourselves in this couch. So,
Wow.
but I'm really excited, man. Yeah.
Now, Ryan, because this is the fun part. One of the things that I loved about Chris show is that he has this tinfoil hat, and it protected him from all logic, from right, Chris. I mean, you had it. I'm not sure if you had it on. So if you want to, there you go. So
I've
okay,
seen the show. He's interviewed Zack before.
Yeah, Zack signed it right here.
Oh, it's
my
so
wife.
cool.
We had to present one thing to sign for Zack, so I got the BVS copy. My wife got a hat, and actually, this hat is from Russ Barnes. I don't know if he's watching, but he gave me this at the Snyder Con event. Well, we call it Snyder Con, but it was actually the Arts Center for Directors Cut over at Pasadena. And the fellow Russ Barnes came over. He says, "Here you go." It was fully wrapped, and then my wife presented to Zack, and he's like, "I know what this is." I'm like blown away. Oh, it's like, "I've watched your show." I'm like, "Oh my god, that's embarrassing," because you probably thought everything I said was
leave it right there, Chris, because I want to be protected by the tinfoil hat, because I'm into conspiracy. I'm into like the crazy stuff. Chris. I mean, we had spoken. So I'm into all that. This is the fun part of doing shows. I think Zack even told you, he says, "Hey, talk about rumors. You keep the conversation going." So it's even good. But Ryan, let's talk about the first thing. Who do you think is the secret cameo?
That's a tough one, because we've seen the rumors that it's really Martian Manhunter, except I just don't think that's it, because I don't think, I know probably the more people that have been paying more attention to the fan movement know about Harry Lennox and his cameo now as Martian Manhunter. I just don't think it's that. I don't think Zack would say, "I've got this great spoiler," when he's, released it. I mean, I think a lot of people want to say Green Lantern. That'd be really cool. I've been thinking long and hard about this, because it's just kind of like, who could it be that'll hype up everybody? And Zack always has something in store for the fans.
Oh, yes.
So I mean, Green Lantern, I think, would be kind of the more obvious one, except I just don't think it's him. And we already know Jared Leto's back as the Joker. Joe Manganiello's coming back as Deathstroke. And I mean, just kind of the A-list characters, I can't really, think of anyone else. I mean, I think it'd be cool if it was saw a couple Green Lanterns there at the end. I don't know. I mean, I'm just kind of waiting to be surprised at this point.
And you, Taylor, who do you think it's the you have no idea?
Oh, well, that's the thing, is like Chris was saying, like, we feel like we know this movie's going to go. We obviously know Zack Snyder's vision in the way that he wanted it. And so like, we know Zack Snyder from all these years. So I feel like we think we have an idea of what he's going to do and what he's going to provide for us. But like Ryan was kind of saying, you never know until it gives it to you. And it's always above and beyond. So I feel like no matter who we speculate, like, I feel like it's going to be above and beyond. And we're all going to be like, I can't believe we didn't think of this person,
Right. Put aside the Martian Manhunter, because I think that's already out there. I think even Zack alluded to it. I believe. If I'm wrong, correct me. And let's just set aside Green Lantern, because I think that's who it is. Because I think wasn't when they were promoting it, Chris. Didn't they have I think the sweater or the shirt? Wasn't that the seventh one, the Green Lantern one?
Yeah, there's Green Lantern on the shirt. Yeah.
Right. But let's just set aside Green Lantern. I have 3. Guys, you let me know if you like it or not. Number 1, Carrie Kelly.
Oh, go with the female Robin. Say the one that I think would be pretty cool, and this is just because I was a big fan of the show Arrow. If we saw Oliver Queen show up, I don't think he's one that you'd say is like this massive cameo, though. I don't think he's a big enough name, the Green Arrow.
Well, what do you think, Chris? Do you like Carrie Kelly?
No comment on secret cameo for me.
Oh, okay. Chris, anything that you tell me that you like you can talk about, just let me know. Okay.
Yeah, no comment on. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. So okay, can you talk about the my theory on the the massive cliffhanger. Can I tell you what I think?
Yeah, sure. Go.
Okay, this is what I think. We know in the Batman Nightmare, if those that like Superman, he's evil. So something happened to him. In the and this is my conspiracy. This is conspiracy. And again, this is just me thinking. What better way to put the pressure on Warner Brothers, for them to release Justice League 2 than to have the cliffhanger be either Aquaman, Wonder Woman, either out of commission or in the hands of Darkseid or possibly dead. Because they're not in the nightmare scene. Zack said that. He said they're not there. So I'm thinking, could that be the cliffhanger? I said that to Robert Meyer Burnett, and he said that if I'm right, he'll bring me on his show. But I think that could be it. And then if you look at the teaser that just came out right now, Darkseid is under the water. Did you see that? Did you see Darkseid in the water?
Yeah,
he's there. So I'm thinking. I mean, if you're Warner Brothers, how are you gonna release a Wonder Woman 3 and an Aquaman 2 were either done in Darkseid hands, badly injured, or possibly dead? I mean, how are you gonna do that? I mean, do you think that's crazy, Ryan? That I'm because everybody's telling me I'm crazy.
I mean, I think everything is just on the table at this point in terms of, what that massive cliffhanger could be. Because you have to remember, the movie was shot back in 2016. So, and obviously at the time they probably thought they were going to be for sure having the sequels. I mean, now we can only hope. Because obviously we do know Wonder Woman and Aquaman are not going to be in the Nightmare sequence. I believe it's just Flash, Cyborg, and Batman, in which Zack has said Batman has to enlist the help of Joker and Deathstroke to try to get a mother box to send the Flash back in time. So something happens to them, and he's alluded to the Legion of Doom playing a role in what happens. I don't know if it'll,
The only reason I'm saying is because the mother box is controlled by the Atlanteans, the Amazon, and actually Superman is the last mother box. So if something happens to those mother box, I'm thinking Darkseid thinking and say these three represent something. I'm just thinking crazy. I mean, but I like my conspiracy is that Zack gives gives Warner Brothers and says take that now. How you gonna? I mean, to me that will blow up. That will blow up the internet right there. That really will blow up the internet. Somebody says Hulk or Hawkman. Is that? I mean, I don't. He said something that will make the fans go crazy. Will Hawkman?
And they will.
Huh?
He's got something planned, and that the fans will go crazy, however this ends, and whatever cameo we see.
See, but I don't think
is, when people who have seen it, the one hashtag they've been tweeting out, like Brandon Davis and a whole bunch of other people, all they said was restore the Snyderverse. So it's something incredibly big to make those people, like just critics or mainstream, they'll probably say, I got to see the next one. So
didn't Kevin Smith said that he knows some stuff, and his expression was like, if you only knew what's coming. I mean, that's the way I took it. Huh?
Yeah. He's watched it.
Yeah, that's right. He did. Yes, yeah. He actually watched it. And
because he's the one that commented when was it Toby Emmerich said that it was a cul-de-sac that led nowhere, and he was the first one that said, "Yeah, no, that's not the case."
Yeah.
Why would Toby? See, that's the part I don't understand. Let's just imagine, even if it's true, which is not. Why would you try to do that to hurt your franchise? It doesn't make smart business sense. I mean, Chris, why would he do that? I mean, even if it's true, why would you downplay a movie and hurt it financially? I don't get it.
Well, it's embarrassing for them. I mean, he was one of the heads who made the decision to have all those changes and, get his bonus check at the end of the year, So those are decisions made by them. And so to have this come out and say, And just if this is better, which I think absolutely it's going to be better, but for people to see that this is better, they're going to wonder, why did you make those changes when this is obviously better than all the money you put invested into making those changes to what we got in the Joss Whedon version? And this is, a publicly traded company, Warner Brothers, right? You got the investors. They have to look at them and see, and they've already done things like sharing the investment for Joker to two other parties, and so now they have to split their money. They could have got all that $1 billion in the box office. Of course, I'm just saying that usually you divided by how many percentage of tickets or whatever. But for the most part, that whole sum would have been theirs. But no, they split it among two other companies to share in making Joker because they didn't have enough confidence in that. And so now they are really trying to say this is a one and done thing, Toby and Walter, because they were like, Walter came in, but he adopted the whole plan, right? And so they have to make their own DC greater. You've seen Flash, how much they're putting into Flash now. They're trying to put Michael Keaton in. They're trying to put Supergirl in. They're trying to put Batgirl in, and whoever else is coming in on that movie, because they're trying to make it huge. They're trying to say, well, our plan is like this, and it's bigger. But unfortunately for them, Zack Snyder's Justice League, the noise of Zack Snyder's Justice League and the hype and everything, the excitement for it is bigger than theirs. And so they're trying to play it like, well, we got a plan here. This is Walter Mata. He's the president of DC Films. He's supposed to know what's going on. He's supposed to know what's happening. He's supposed to know how to plan all this because he's the president. How is this one movie being a bigger noise? Even Zack knew that. That's why he threw it out to AT&T and says, well, look what the fans have done. Look how much noise this movie, for a movie that supposedly not supposed to ever come out or even exist. Why is the noise for this larger than the things that you have planned for? And so that got them nervous, and that's why they've. And I don't think Toby Emmerich was specifically one. I know it says Warner Brothers exec. I know it was from the Walter Hamada excerpt of that article from the New York Times. But there are people over there that really wanted to bury this thing and keep it buried, because it's going to be very embarrassing for them when people start to see this and see that it's much different. So everything's held back. They're just waiting to see how big this thing is and which direction they should go from here and forth. I think they could both exist. Like Walter, Toby, do whatever you want. This is why Jim Lee proposed the multiverse idea. Everybody can have their cake and eat it too. Don't worry. So I don't see why they're continuing to add stress over this thing when they could literally just walk away and says, hey, we did it for the fans, and Zack can continue over on HBO Max, and we can go ahead and do our own thing over on this side. So
I'm going to ask
there's money to be made on both sides. What they could continue doing their own cinematic universe and then have the Snyderverse on HBO Max, and that's really should be the number one priority, is that both of them will be making a lot of money.
Right.
Well, here's the thing, and I'm going to start with Taylor. Here's my question: if Walter Hamada and Tommy Emmerich are so they know for sure their plan is going to work, then why they worry about the Snyderverse? If they're confident whatever vision that they have is going to work, then why are they doing the shady stuff? I mean, if I'm confident what I could do, I won't pay no mind to what other people's doing. You could say, hey, Snyder, finish your stuff, because by the time our stuff gets rolling, you should be finished up your stuff. So by them worrying about it, it tells me that they're worried about and they're insecure about their own vision. I mean, am I right or am I wrong? Do you agree, Taylor?
Well, I mean, I think they should be insecure of their own version, but I also think it's like an ego thing, like anytime there's competition going on, like people just don't want to deal with that. They just want to get to something the easiest way possible. And we already seen with Zack Snyder, like Chris said, the movie wasn't supposed to come out, and then Twitter caused a scene and made a lot of noise, and then we got that. And then I just feel like we already see that the fans want this. People outside of the Snyder fan verse want this. And so they've got to be worried to an extent And so, but like, you can't come out and say your word, you know. I feel like it's probably an ego thing.
What do you think, Ryan?
Well, I think it's also a thing, as Chris alluded to, like, if people love this movie, it's going to make them look really bad. Why did you spend all this money going through the reshoot process and all the drama and everything that actors like Ray Fisher went through, and then the whole mustache gate with Henry Cavill? I mean, there's just so many layers where it could have been like, if you had just let Zack do his thing, none of this drama would have happened.
Do you agree, Chris? I mean, do you like my theory that if they're so confident in their vision, why they worry about the Snyderverse? The reason that they worried about the Snyderverse is because, I mean, if you're worried about the Snyderverse, that means you're not confident in your vision. Am I right? Am I wrong?
Yeah, and I want to, just this was a yesterday where they had the AT&T Analyst Investors Day.
Mm-hmm.
And they threw out a one image of their slate DC film series and video games on there. There had some, they had Batgirl, Zatanna, and all this stuff because they were trying to market it to their investors. They want to make sure that they get the backing. I want to say I almost wish they got smart enough to do it like Disney. Like Disney Investors Day, they threw out a whole event. It was panels. They talked about Obi-Wan. They talked about Ahsoka Tano. They had clips and trailers, and it was just a big event. Got people excited. But no, what did everybody talk about yesterday? Zack Snyder's Justice League, and it wasn't even on that image. Like it wasn't. The Justice League was not on the image. They had a bunch of Superman and Lois. We got Birds of Prey, the Suicide Squad. Nobody's talking about it. Like it's like. They're trying hard, but they're not trying that hard. And AT&T realizes that on this side, the fans are just looking at this. And that's why they're always talking about, we have to listen to the fans. We have to, even Ann Sarnoff, when she was over at BBC, one of the speeches you can find on YouTube before she got on was that we have to market to our audience. We have to find our audiences and market to it. Because one of the stories was like, what was it called? Luther, the Idris Elba series. At first, the corporate teams didn't want to bring that over, but she says, no, there is a fan base for that, and I promise you that people are going to love it. And it did well, bringing it over on this side. So it's that kind of mentality that I like. It's not just because a bunch of suits don't like something doesn't mean the rest of us don't like it. And I think Jason Kylar and AT&T, they're doing it smart. They're just like, well, let's go where the money is, and that's where the fans are. The fans are our consumers. The fans are our customers. Why will we not put something that they want? Why will we put something that we love? We have to put something that they love. And so I think that's a great marketability from that side.
I was on Wednesday. I had because Robert Meyer Burnett, he's good with the finances and all that stuff, and he said that HBO Max by themselves cannot afford Justice League 2 because of the contract and all that stuff. He says that the way to go is to have Warner Brothers and HBO Max together finance the movie and then have it dual release the way they've been doing, which will be smart. So that kind of makes sense. Now, have you noticed this ever since that last, I think it was maybe the Sasha Calle, actually it was Black Superman, when that news came out, something happened going forward that it seems like Iris West being recast, it seems like something happened that it points, and I'm not saying that it is, but like it's pointing towards restoring the Snyderverse. Do you have that feel, Chris?
No, what Warner Brothers is doing is what Warner Brothers is going to do. It's never going to and they're recasting Henry Allen because of scheduling conflicts.
Yeah.
So the job's not going to be there. But Iris West was always in play. There were always talks for that. And also, J.J. Abrams' Superman, that's actually been in the works for a long time. They just announced it. So it's, But I believe, I still don't consider Warner Brothers even, with the current regime, Walter Hamada and, Toby Emmerich, it's going to be difficult to get even two. They're the guys who greenlight DC films over on HBO Max. Like if it was a series, that's Casey Bloways. And that's pretty much Warner Media, AT&T side. But Walter Hamada, it's just ego, and I'm sorry, it's difficult. But if pressured enough, they could probably do it. They greenlight it, just like how they pretty much said okay with the Snyder Cut and had Toby Emmerich call up Zack Snyder, whatever. But I'm just worried about the stress, the continued stress of working with them, even producing Justice League 2. It's unless there's a way that AT&T or Warner Media says, you know what, greenlight it, but you have no responsibility over the Snyder Cut and let Zack do whatever he wants. Then that's great. That'd be awesome, for Zack's sake. Really, it will.
Right. I mean, I think in a lot of it, it's going to depend on the success of the Snyder Cut. How much does everybody like it? I mean, I really don't think they can make a final decision until everybody has seen the movie. Mm-hmm. And that's really what it's going to come down to. And then you're going to have to figure out a way, Ray Fisher doesn't want to do anything as long as Walter Hamada is there right now. And then Ben Affleck will have to be convinced to come back. I know he's coming back for the Flash movie, except it sounded like it took a lot of convincing for him to come back for that role. And we don't know. There's been rumblings that he might be a way for him to be written out of the universe and then go forward with Pattinson. So, I mean, I think everything is kind of it's a very fluid situation right now with everything involving the Snyder Cut. And then really everything's just going to, the way everything is going to go is going to depend on the success of the movie and how well received it is. And again, if there's money to be made.
What do you think, Taylor?
Well, I know with on HBO Max when it got leaked or accidentally posted on the Tom and Jerry page, however that glitch happened, like the people that were able to watch a decent chunk of the movie like that had a good response from those that were able to get that version. So I feel like, and obviously people who are watching Tom and Jerry probably might not be the typical clientele to watch Justice League. So like I think if those people responded well and like people outside of Justice League fandom, then I feel like that's a good sign for moving forward in the future.
Yeah, if Tom and Jerry 2 gets greenlit, they could thank the Snyder. They could thank the Snyder Cut if it actually happens. Yeah.
You kind of wonder how many people have clicked on the movie just hoping the Snyder Cut will play since that happened.
Somebody already said in the chat, but I'm just like I'm telling everybody. I know Chris, you've been telling everybody. The best chance that we have getting a Justice League 2, two things has to happen. We have to make it the most successful. And I'm not talking about good. It has to blow like off the chart. And also stay subscribed to HBO Max. Do not cancel it. Keep it for a good year. That's our best chance getting Justice League 2, because if it does well, because Robert told me that they respect Tommy Emmerich, that's what he said, but he said that if it's like a no-brainer, that means HBO Max and Warner Brothers will have to come together. But my question is, let's assume that happens. Do you think that Warner Brothers may tell Zack, hey Zack, can you finish Justice League 2? Or yeah, we'll let you do Justice League 2, but we have a Supergirl. Can we have a Supergirl show up in Justice League 2? Something like that. Or is there a mistrust between the studio and the director? I mean, that's what Warner Brothers gets for they have shot themselves so many times in the foot that even if they come with Zack, how is Zack going to trust them when the two people are there? Set aside Walter Hamada, but Tommy Emmerich. How did he get past that? Do you see what I'm saying?
I mean, this is a step in the right direction here where they've given him full creative control to realize his full vision of the movie. I mean, it's going to be kind of baby steps right there. And obviously a lot will have to fall into place for us to get that next Justice League movie. Except obviously, hopefully, some things have been repaired just by the, just giving him full creative control of this 4-hour movie.
Chris, wasn't that HBO Max that gave it to him? I don't think it was Warner Brothers. Was it HBO Max that gave him full creative control? Because I don't know.
At the beginning, because it wasn't consolidated yet. Like Warner Brothers didn't even utilize they had Warner Max. They made a created different division. So they created Warner Max, and the Warner Max was to make everything for HBO Max. COVID happened. They had to consolidate. They had the layoffs and everything, and then so now Warner Brothers is in charge of, DC films coming on HBO Max, or even aside from program. I think like series, like Green Lantern series, that falls under Casey Bloy, so there is a distinction there. But if it's for movies, like that would be Walter Hamada and crew.
So that puts it. I mean, I thought it was HBO Max. AT&T.
It was before, so it was like Bob Greenblatt was one of them, and he got laid off. So at the beginning, it was like there was a clear distinction between these two separate entities, and Warner Max was created so that they can use resources from Warner Brothers. It's kind of like taking from your brother that the brother doesn't appreciate, taking toys from. And I made a whole video about this, but and we were kind of wondering, is like, what is going on? Why are they utilizing us and using our resources and things like that? And all the chips are into the HBO Max thing. But COVID hit, streaming services are getting more. There's not much theaters. Every company had to consolidate, and this is one of them. So, yeah.
Chris, explain, because I want Ryan Taylor to know the backstory on the hot dog that you have back there. The hot dog. Explain to them, because Chris was trending with the hot dog. So tell them that story.
It was just one video when someone asked, or I forgot what are you gonna do? I'm in food service as well, so. My thoughts were always about food and stuff like that, and I just referenced, the day I'm gonna, like, I forgot what it was. I think the context was that, well, would you watch something if you didn't know it was good or something? I forgot what it was, but basically I said it's like there's a hot dog in front of me. Of course I'm gonna eat it. It's a good hot dog, and I'm gonna eat that hot dog. I had a whole rant on it. And then shout out to Krypton Cage from Real Anarchy. He threw up a music video using my voice, and he turned it into a rap song. And then all of a sudden, people just took that off. And then my wife actually says, "You know what?" And she bought me this from Etsy. She's like, "That's you. Just keep that in there. That's part of your brand now. The hot dog thing." I'm like, "All right." So that's how.
A hot dog in the tin hat.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Hot dog and Tinfoil. So yeah.
Right. Do you because I'm maybe just me, maybe Chris, watching you for 3 years, always having hope of always having everything. Do you think there's going to be a Justice League 2?
I'm very optimistic there's going to be a Justice League 2. Like, just as much as optimistic for a Snyder Cut. I think it's a long time coming for the Snyder Cut, and I actually think it's easier to get a Justice League 2 than for the Snyder Cut to ever got released. This is unprecedented. This thing doesn't happen. But once you open that can, there are a lot more worms there.
That's interesting, because Rob was saying, he said that it was easier to release the Snyder Cut because it was already shot. And he said that the hard part is going to be the talent contract. That's what he said, which kind of makes sense. I mean, he's looking at it from the business standpoint, so I get that. The budget. But 2 years ago, people were saying we were never going to get the Snyder Cut. Am I right? Am I wrong?
Yeah, I think because I thought it was a hard, because it was already $300+ million they're invested into that thing. And they plopped another $70 million on it. Like, it took another company to buy out Warner Brothers. If it was easy back then, they would have done it. They would have done it years ago. They would have talked about years ago. But it's because there's always a movie that is not directly the director's vision. There's always a movie, especially before streaming service. I think Netflix kind of paves its way into let's just let the director make whatever he wants. Like, if Netflix was really adamant about, trying to get directors to do things, I think that Michael Bay film, that Seven Underground, would have been a lot shorter. It would have been like chopped up, and let's not do that, let's not do this. But no, they let him pretty much had free reign on that. They let Martin Scorsese had free reign on his epic The Irishman. And that type of mentality is now much more prevalent in the streaming services, because there's a lot more time. They don't have mandates about, I need to make that theatrical runtime because we got to have more screens. We need that 2 hours so we can put more of it out there. So I think actually it was actually because that stuff never ever happens where a movie, unless it's like 10 years later, we got Superman 2, the new director's cut. We got multiple Blade Runner cuts, and the final cut or whatever. That never happens that often, and not to this amount. Like 4 hours? Wow! It was like in this short amount of years, it's amazing.
Taylor, how's the weather where you at?
What'd you say?
How's the weather where you at? How's the weather?
Oh, good. I'm actually in Utah right now.
Look at that.
Can see the nice view. Yeah. So
Snowing.
What brings you to Utah? Are you covering a story or visiting family?
just visiting, just getting a little vacation,
Okay. Is that where you're gonna watch the Snyder Cut in Utah?
No, I will be back. I'll be back Tuesday. I don't get to watch it early on Monday, so I'll watch it Thursday with Ryan.
Ryan and Chris, were you guys laughing when you were seeing the fan, the invites, people getting invites early and other people being not invited? I was kind of like, I would have had like one, but we waited 3.5 years. We could wait 3 more days. It was kind of hilarious that how people were listen, it's like signing an autograph, as you know, Ryan. When an athlete signs an autograph, the one he didn't sign, they always look bad. So I think Zack was trying to do the best he could. And this is my theory. I actually think the reason he did that, and again, this is just me, my theory. I could be wrong. You're gonna have a lot of bloggers that are anti-Zack Snyder that may try to, down hype the cut. If you let the fans watch it early, we're gonna drain out and control the narrative. That's just me. Whoever thought of that, to me, that was very brilliant, because that's how you're gonna join the negativity. Do you see where I'm coming from, Ryan?
Yeah, and it's a really nice gesture, really thoughtful. Let people see the movie early, and as you said, if you didn't get the invite to watch it 3 days early, it's not the end of the world. We've waited 3.5 years, 3 more days isn't going to be that difficult. And really, it's just kind of like, it's supposed to be just a time for excitement now.
Right. Chris, when you received that, because honestly, I was really, if anybody deserves it, was you. I found the video, your Batman versus Superman rant. And bro, you had hair like you. That rant was
the movement was done to me. No, okay. The tinfoil hat is really quick. I had the hat on too long. The sun just kind of burned off my hair. No, okay.
That rant was epic. Do you sometimes watch it just to reminisce? From when everything has come to now. Have you watched that video?
No, most of the time, almost all the time, I don't rewatch any of the videos I post. Like I watch it just to make sure there's sound and it's not skipping, but most of the time I don't watch any of my videos. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is there a reason why you don't, or you just don't like watching yourself?
I just don't like watching myself. I don't know.
It's I hate watching myself too. I totally get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking with Dave Pena, and one of the things that I'm so impressed by Chris and all those on YouTubes that put out content every day. I honestly thought it was going to be easy. Hey, just sit in front of a computer and just talk, and it's not easy. It's not because you have to come up with something new, and information, have different guests. And I remember, Chris, you just told me just be yourself. and this is what I like. This is what I like doing. What I like about your show is that you give out information. Is that you? Do you really enjoy giving out information, or do you like interviewing? Which of the two you enjoy the most?
I actually don't like interviewing too much, and I actually like to just report it, just like trying to be like a Ryan and trying to be like a Taylor, but like actually like get topics, get stories daily, and just want to share that with everybody. Just like this is what happened today, this is what went on, this is the most important pointers of that, and I would like to throw in a little bit of my tinfoil, throw in some of my big thoughts in there. But that's pretty much where I am. Where I like, I mean, to be quite honest, like when Zack Snyder wanted to interview me, I almost said no. I almost said no.
No
like,
way, Chris.
My wife convinced me to do it. She's like, you got to do this. You got to have Zack Snyder on your show. I'm like, I know, but I'm just so nervous. I mean, it doesn't seem like I'm nervous, even when I was interviewing him, but I was completely nervous, nerve-wracking, and it's just like I felt. I'm more comfortable with just talking as a talking head and putting topics on the this side and to show you what I'm talking about and like that. But yeah, shout out to Dave Pena from Film Junkie. Awesome guests. He's got Connie Nelson. He got Terry Lennox. He got Junkie XL. He got Zack Snyder. I can't wait to see Frank Grillo. I mean, I can't wait to see who he has next. Yeah.
I'm predicting Ray Fisher. That'll be kind of cool. Ryan, what go? And I'm not saying I don't know anything. I'm just I said that'll be cool. Actually, no, Ben Affleck. What about him and Ben Affleck and him interviewing Ben Affleck as casual Batman? I say that to him. He said that would be hilarious.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, as casual Batman. Oh my God, that would be so. As a matter of fact, he even said, Ryan and Chris, he says that he will pay to see Zack Snyder watch the Justice League. Like an event to.
Oh my God!
I mean, I haven't watched it. I only watched the 15 minutes of it. I got people telling me to watch it. People telling me don't watch it. Do you think I should watch it, Ryan?
I would just say more watch it just to know the differences between that version and what we're going to be seeing.
I mean, just to seeing the mustache, that's all I needed. I mean, my heart died for that. I mean, I cried. Just the first five. Chris, should I watch it?
Nah. At this point, forget it. It never existed.
I mean, that's a good way to look at it. Man, I mean, I don't think anyone. Yeah, I mean, have you seen all the people that have been burning their hard copies of the movie, anyways?
I heard some services or stream services have started pulling it down, like pulling it out of their, like HBO Go Asia, or someone said that Justice League is no longer available on that streaming service.
So that's why the optimistic part of me that thinks we have a shot continually the Snyderverse. Because of that. I mean, all these cable providers, they want to make money. So I mean, but that's just me being positive. I mean, I heard for 3 years we're never gonna get the Snyder Cut. We got it. So it just leaves me there. I know, Ryan, are you looking forward towards Godzilla versus Kong?
Yes, I am. I'm looking very much forward to that one.
Are you Team Kong or Team Godzilla?
Oh, Godzilla.
Yes. Chris,
there's not enough Team Godzilla.
Chris, I think
why are people Team of the Monkey? Come on. Yeah, he got thumbs, but come on. Atomic breath.
Listen, Robert said that he's Team Godzilla because Godzilla go to space. Godzilla face every monster. All King Kong is just.
You know what it is? It's the what do you call it? I don't watch sports, but it's like the team that is not what do you call underdogs. Like he's like the underdog, right? And so a lot of people just cheer for the underdog, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I've never. I mean, can you ever think of a time where you had two movies that you were looking forward towards coming out 1 month? Because I can't think of it. I
I have
mean,
three,
who's your third
like
one?
well, it's in April, but I'm looking forward to Mortal Kombat because I'm
Oh
a huge Mortal
yes,
Kombat fan. So it's like these 2 months are like nerd heaven. I don't know. Just
right. No, I'm Team Godzilla. I know I did like a whole reaction and then trailer. And then I was trying to find clues and I see Mecha Godzilla there. If you look closely, Mecha Godzilla I think is in the first 10 seconds. If you look there, but I said, Chris, you remember in 2019 that I told you that the way I would do it, I could see Kong dying a hero, and that's how he get his name King, and Godzilla paid homage to Kong. I mean, because Godzilla dying doesn't make people cry. For some reason, Kong dying, because all my ladies they're going for Kong. That's like they're going for Kong. I mean, it's like there's something about Kong and the woman that they like. I mean, to me, that will have more of an emotional impact. The only thing I'm disappointed about that is less than 2 hours. Isn't it less than 2 hours?
I think it's like an hour and 52 minutes or something like that.
Hopefully, it has a lot more monster fights.
Yeah. Guys, I wanna be conscious of Chris time because he's all the way in Hawaii, and I know he's probably prepping up for Monday. Is it?
No, actually, we just got a turtle, so like literally, it's weird. My kid wanted a turtle so bad, we went out and got a turtle, and they're trying to figure out a good rock or something. So I got to get back out there, but yeah.
Right. Okay. Chris, to end, what time are you allowed to tell us what time you're watching it, or no? You can even tell us.
No, you can. It's at 12 p.m. my time. So what is that? That's daylight savings times this weekend. So 3 hours. So 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Monday.
Okay. And if you have advice for all those people who worry about spoilers, you tell them to what?
Get off the internet. Just don't even look in comments. True story. Like, I was waiting for Force Awakens. I was avoiding the internet. I just clicked on a cat video on Facebook, and the first comment was a GIF of Han Solo getting killed by Kylo Ren. Spoiled. And I was watching it that night. A cat video. So yeah, get off the internet.
Are you planning to do like a 5-minute reaction? Are you planning to do that? You know how sometimes like Dave sees a movie. Are you planning at least to do like a quick reaction, something like that?
What I was going to do was I'm going to throw there, and I'm actually going to film my entire reaction and cut it up into parts. But then right after the video, I'm going to do a quick 5-minute reaction. I'll probably be screaming outside. I don't know.
It's like a holiday for everybody getting to see this movie finally.
Yeah, it's also spring break, so the kids are out, and
that's right.
That's why I have to get rid of them somehow.
Hey, listen. I was trying to bribe my wife. I was trying to, if you don't want to watch a 4-hour movie, and especially with the stimulus check coming this week, they could go shopping for 4 hours. You just never know. But you know what's kind of cool, Ryan? That Chris' wife is into all the movies that he watched. Isn't that kind of cool, Chris? That you have a woman that basically like what you want. I mean, that's kind of cool, isn't it?
I'm grateful for that. But at the same time, it's like, we both have to find somebody to get rid of them. Like, it's like if she wasn't liking it, she'd be like, okay, I'll take care of the kids. But no, she's like, no, I gotta watch it with you. Oh, that's right. Okay, so we gotta find a third party to pass them off to.
You better not get yourself in trouble, bro. You might be sleeping in the doghouse, bro. You better not, bro. Okay, we're gonna let Chris go so he could tell his wife, hey honey, I'm only having fun. I love you. You know what you did with me. You probably gonna eat hot dog after the movie. So hey Chris, man, this is it, man. The time has come. The time is here. I've proud to say that I've met some incredible people along the way. And that's what makes this movement even more special to me. Meeting the good people, the 95%. I don't focus on the 5%, the toxic people, but the 95. It's just it's a pleasure, speaking with you, talking with you. I've never met a person who was as humble as you are. It took a lot for you to come to my channel. People have no idea. You actually helping me out by coming to my channel. People don't know that, and I cherish my guests. Now I understand when these YouTube channels, when they say they cherish the guests. Now I understand it, because you guys take an hour or 2 hours out of your time to come talk to us to help build up our channel. And I am so much grateful for it. And I know we're gonna have more conversation about the movie that we're gonna see. Is your chat? Last question: is your chat Saturday? Are you gonna talk about it, or are you gonna give it time? Because I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna put spoilers. If you haven't seen it, do not come to my show. Or you plan to wait a couple of weeks?
Oh, that's a good question. I never thought about that. So a lot of times, like, I don't even know what's the world's like after the Snyder Cut releases. It's unplanned. But yeah, you're right. There are probably things. But I think Dave, we're gonna be on Dave's show, Film Junkie. Just plugging him on Vodka Stream, and I think that's gonna be like a 6-hour event. I don't know. It's gonna be. We may talk about stuff then. I think we could, and that's on a Friday, so that's like after the day. That's 19th.
Yeah,
19th. So
yeah.
But yeah, I know I'm gonna do one, but I'm not sure when. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good question. Yeah.
Chris, tell people your channel, where they could catch you, and how they could follow you on Twitter.
Sure. Chris Wong Wednesday. I'm at the Ping Pong Flick Show, and you can find me anywhere with that handle at Ping Pong Flicks. Thank you. Thanks,
All right, Chris,
thank you so much for inviting me on the show again.
Thank you so much. Go take care of your kids and go make up with your wife. All right, you take care.
Just give me a
All right, you take care, my brother.
Thank you.
All right, Ryan. It looked like Taylor was having a bad internet connection there.
Yeah, Utah just wasn't treating her too well.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm gonna go to her. I'm gonna try to find it where she showed the mountain view, because I used to live in Albuquerque. So
really?
So I love the beautiful mountains, the snow and all that stuff, and maybe just take a picture of the background, because that'd be a nice screensaver and all that stuff. So, Ryan, wow, we're just
almost at the finish line.
5 days away. I'm gonna get off Twitter on social media on Monday, because I do not want to be accused that I, like this cliffhanger. Because I had 3 different cliffhangers. First, I had ending in Clark and Lois getting married. Then a second one, I had it. Then that's what Zack said. Then a massive cliffhanger. Then I had it. Had Lois Lane dying when he said massive cliffhanger. Then I said to myself,
that's the one I was wondering about. Is are we gonna see the scene when Darkseid use the boom tube to go down to the Batcave and kill Lois Lane?
From what I understand, that wasn't shot. That's why I'm thinking and I did more digging. It's an article from Screen Rant that they asked Zack Snyder, I think in either last year or 2019, I'm not sure, but there's an article that's saying that the Wonder Woman and Aquaman was not in the nightmare scene. So I'm saying to myself,
I know we've seen storyboards, and he's talked about what that post-apocalyptic future, and we know Wonder Woman and Green Lantern and Aquaman and all of them are gone. They've been killed, and I think Zack had even said it'll be the Legion of Doom. Lex Luthor, Black Manta, Dr. Poison, Riddler, and Ocean Master. I think were the members of the team, and then they take out the rest of the Justice League. And then, Superman succumbed to the anti-life equation. And then that's why Batman has to team up with Deathstroke and Joker. And we know, and he's even said Justice League 2 would take place fully in the post-apocalyptic future.
No, yeah, it does. So this is why I'm thinking, how do you get there? What's the cliffhanger? What's the cliffhanger that Warner Brothers is so afraid of? And you know, the more I think about it, I said the more it makes sense. They're either injured or they're dead at the end of the Snyder Cut. That's my cliffhanger. That's what I think. That leads up to Justice League 2 making Flash the most important member of the Justice League. He's going to be the most important person because if my theory is correct, if my theory is proved that they're either in under control with Darkseid, or he has them, you know, Apocalypto, he has them there, or they're dead. Flash becomes the most important league member. I mean,
right. I mean, also, I mean, you know, we could see Superman turning over to under Darkseid's control at the end of the movie. We know at some point he was going to succumb to the anti-life equation. Does it happen in the Snyder Cut? Was that going to happen at the very end, or was it going to happen in Justice League 2?
I don't. Well, I don't think it necessarily needs to happen in the Snyder Cut because the Snyder Cut it's mostly about the resurrection of Superman. But again, it all depends on the cliffhanger. That's a cliffhanger. Superman being under or being overtaken by the anti-life. That's a major, but it still doesn't answer the question: is where is Aquaman and Wonder Woman in a nightmare scene? Zack verbatim said that they're not there. He said that verbatim.
Now, I mean, we've seen, and I believe it was the first teaser that we got for DC fandom. We saw Aquaman's trident, you know, just kind of laying there with a dismantled Hall of Justice in that post-apocalyptic future. So, I mean, I think this assumption is both of them are dead. You know, Green Lantern's probably one of them, and that's an if he had been brought into or been introduced into the universe at that time. Because I believe it's just Batman, Cyborg, and Flash that are left.
Yeah, I mean that's what I've always understood. That is obvious Flash and Batman, Cyborg, obvious Superman is under Darkseid control. And this is where, you know, if you're Warner Brothers, why not reach out to Zack and say, hey Zack, you know, we got this universe. We understand we want to finish your universe. We want to build up Supergirl. Can you put her in the Snyder Cut too? Maybe write a story of, you know, maybe
what if Supergirl is the one in the pod from Man of Steel?
Yes.
What about Supergirl? He might have already had a plan for her to be in there because we know Zack is a smart guy.
Yeah,
you know, he had a very, very large and complicated plan. He wasn't just thinking of it as he went along. He already had the whole thing mapped out.
He did, and
he wasn't just thinking as he went along.
And I'm telling people, as far as you know, when it comes to the Flash and also the Snyder Cut, we all want Ray Fisher back. We all do. It's unfortunate that he's not going to be in the Flash, but it's not Andy Machete's fault. He's the one that cast Ray Fisher. I mean, if what Andy Machete is supposed to do if the boss tells you take him out. So, but us boycotting the Flash, we're gonna take it on Andy Machete, who's Hispanic, and Sasha Calle, who's also Hispanic. Now Iris West, who's African American. I mean, we could do both. We could support the Flash, but we could support the Snyder Cut. And Ray Fisher. And how do we support Ray Fisher? By making the Snyder Cut the most epic movie scene of all time. And if they greenlit Justice League 2, Zack is going to bring back his people. Zack is going to tell Warner Brothers, he's my Cyborg and I'm bringing him back. And if they say no, I wonder, you know, Zack going to say no Justice League 2. And then Warner Brothers, they're so shady, they're going to say, hey, see, we told Zack you can make Justice League 2. We told him. He just didn't want to make it because he wants to bring back Ray Fisher. They'll do something shady like that. They would. Am I right or am I wrong?
Yeah, I mean, everything is kind of up in the air right now with what happens. You know, and obviously it's just going to depend how is the Snyder Cut received, what all is happening, you know, is going to happen after that, and will actors come back? You know, there's the rumblings Henry Cavill is done. We don't know if Ben Affleck would come back to do another one. We don't know if Ray Fisher would come back and work with if Walter Hamada and Toby Emmerich are still there.
The people in the chat, do you guys like my cliffhanger or do you think I'm crazy? Do you guys think I'm crazy? My cliffhanger, because I'd said that to Rob and Zod, and they kind of said they didn't use the word crazy, but they're just like that's out of the realm. But I mean, we never thought that Superman was gonna die in BVS, did we?
Right. I mean, I think it's just kind of one of those things. It was on the table once we knew Doomsday was introduced, except I don't think anyone thought that they would, kill Superman in the second movie of the universe. I think even though you could see it happening, you were still shocked when it did.
Right. So, guys, okay. So, I also want to be conscious of Ryan's time. I know he needs about 5 days to get ready for 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 the snap. You got the dark side one.
Oh, yep. I got the navy blue dark side one.
It says Charlie. Charlie says, let me see. He said it makes sense. Actually, there is a scene in Justice game that I actually can fantasize. Okay, well, I don't play those kind of games, but that's it just it has me consumed. And again, I'm a conspiracy person. I'm like Zack is like giving it right back to Warner Brothers. Take that. How are you gonna make an Aquaman 2 and a Wonder Woman 3 when those characters are dead?
Mm-hmm. I think we just kind of have to wait and see what happens and enjoy the Snyder Cut. And then there's reason to be cautiously optimistic, though.
Yes, absolutely. Ronnie, if you could give the show a retweet and just tell everybody just to click on the link and just to read up on Juvenile's diabetes, man. It's a cause that is dear to my heart. It really is. It's if you guys haven't watched it, it's on February 20th. The education that is given regarding the difference between type 1, type 2, and what the type 1 diabetic person has to go through, and their life has changed, and not just them, but the parents. Seeing it's heartbreaking. It really is. It's heartbreaking. So, but I appreciate your time, Ryan. I really do.
Thanks for having me on. Listen, let's enjoy the Snyder Cut.
Yes, we are. You take care, okay?
You too.
Okay. All right, guys. I was hoping Liz wanted to come on, but she didn't promise. She says that she would try. She has a lot of events today, so maybe I could get her next week. As I have Sean O'Connell next week with Matthew. From I think Wednesday is his last day from Lightcast, and I'm actually I'm waiting for Kirsten to get back to me. That's dope. As type 1 diabetic, thank you for the awareness. Oh, Sasa, wow, yes. If you could go back to February 20th and watch the first 2.5 hours, it's all education on Sasa. So yes, it's my heart goes out to you, man. I know it's not easy. Having a child that is diabetic, it's not easy. So guys, like I said, just $5, $10, it's not gonna hurt you. And anything that you can. The money doesn't go to me. It goes to Juveniles Diabetes Research Foundation. It goes to them. It goes to them, and the advancement of medicine and the equipment has come a long way. Has really come a long way. Guys, we're just 5 days away from the Snyder Cut. Monday, I'm going to log off on Monday. I don't want to be on social media. Don't want to know anything. So if anybody wants to DM me, I won't be available. I'll be available on Friday morning. That's when I'm going to be available. So, and if you happen to find out about something, don't spoil it for others. Don't do that. Don't spoil it for others. And anyway, guys, please again go to the description button. If you haven't done so, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to my channel. And I want to wish everybody don't forget the hours goes 1 hour up front. So don't forget Thursday. Let's have an awesome time. Next Saturday, we're gonna be talking about what we saw with Sean O'Connell. everything. We're gonna be talking about everything what we saw on that particular day. So if you plan to watch it on Thursday and Friday, you're more than welcome. If you haven't watched it yet, do not watch my show because we're gonna talk about it, and I make sure I put that on the description. Okay. In any event, guys, thank you so much. Jenkins joining the Lewis Centennial. So I'll see you next week.